Hello again, part 2. I'm gonna burp, hang on. Pardon me, that was disgusting. Right, I'll tell you what, I've not recovered yet, Jesus. I must have spoke about 200 miles an hour towards the end of that. And I went to the next village this morning to get some hay and some fly strike for the rabbit at the pet shop, because there isn't one in my village, obviously. And hang on. And so I went to Greg's because I was starving, because my meds that I'm on make me like really hungry. Like if I haven't eaten in an hour, I feel sick, so I have to eat constantly. And it make me talk a lot too. It's great fun. So yeah, I went to Greg's and I got like 2 sausage rolls, and then I got a carton of Ribena, and then I was like, I'm really thirsty, so I'll have more. So I had like 4 cartons of Ribena. I left one because I just physically couldn't drink it. So I'm like walking down the bridle, which is like, it's a country path kind of thing. So I'm shoving my face with sausage rolls, and then I've had 2, and you know, good, but I don't really like the sausage in them, so I only eat the pastry. So I suppose it's not really like eating 2 sausage rolls. And so I had my cartons of Ribena. I had 3 of them, and I got like halfway down the bridle, and I was like, oh god, I need a poo. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. So I'm like, so I've got a really bad stomachache and I feel sick because I'm like trying to hold a bobbin. So I just like rushed home, and it took me like 10 minutes to walk like 3 miles. So that was interesting. So I managed to make it in time just to get to the toilet. So yeah. That was done. Oh dear. Film's done. Now, books. These are not books as such. I'm not, like I said to you before, I'm not really a big reader. I prefer audiobooks and documentaries and stuff. And I'm not really massively into literature. I am, but I prefer, like, I've got a certain few writers and I kind of stick with them. I'm a bit anal when it comes to writing stuff. But one of my favourite things, when I was probably about 7 probably, my mum bought me a William Shakespeare book, and I was really young, obviously, I mean 7, so I hadn't really grasped the concept of Shakespeare at all. But as I got older and I read it more, I found myself falling in love with it a bit more. But I really hated Romeo and Juliet because I found it really fucking awful. I mean, it's a good story, and it's, I mean, at the time, it was probably one of the most, you know, rule-breaking things in the world. But I found myself sort of heading more towards the back of the book, at the sonnets, and I've always really loved the poems and the sonnets, and every writer that I like has a hint of poetry in their work as well. So yeah, one of my favourite Shakespeare sonnets is sonnet 130, which is, my mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun. Coral is far more red than her lips red. If snow be white, well then her breasts are done. If hair be wise, black wires grow on her head. I have seen roses damask red and white, but no such roses see on her cheek. And in some perfumes is there more delight than in the breath which from my mistress reeks. I grant I never saw a goddess go. That's my text message, and that's just ruined everything. It's all ruined. Sorry. So yeah, you get the general gist. But yeah, that is my favourite sonnet, because I think it kind of describes the way I feel about everything. Like, yeah, you're not perfect. No one's ever perfect. But everything is beautiful in a way. It just depends on how you look at it. I mean, my mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun. Well, they would never nobody could ever be as beautiful as the sun. Nobody's eyes could ever be as beautiful as the sun, because the sun is life. The sun is everything, you know. So, but yeah, and again, so just moving off literature really. The reason why I'm not really a huge literature fan is because I've always been like quite a hands-on, sciencey person, and I've always enjoyed. From a very, very, very young age, I've always enjoyed looking at astronomy and like anatomy and stuff. And when I was about 12, probably younger than that, even 11, I decided that the job that I wanted to do, the job that I really, really wanted, was to be a marine biologist. So I was quite obsessed with, you know, marine life and excuse me, tired. Marine life and just animals in general. But then I went to diving lessons and I didn't like it, so I gave up on that idea. And then I wanted to be a pathologist, and I did work experience in a morgue for about 2 weeks, I think it was, and it was okay, but it wasn't really, really what I wanted to do. So now I have I've resided myself into the arts like a big ponce. So yeah, I mean, I've always been fascinated by nature, and so now instead of analysing it as a scientist, I analyse it as an artist, and I take pictures, which is not very exciting, but it's something that I enjoy doing, and it's relaxing. So anyway, oh dear, yawning again. Sorry, you're not boring me at all. Brian Cox. Brian Cox! Hiya! I've only really recently got into Brian Cox, to be honest, but I really, really, really love his books, and I'm sort of halfway through reading this one, and I find it absolutely fascinating. Like, I think my favourite thing about that is, like, when you look up in the night sky and you see stars. Yeah, they're stars, but they're not just dots in the sky. That light is coming from like 23 billion years ago, and how the hell do we see something right now that happened 23 billion years ago? I mean, that's far more fascinating than a fossil. That's like loads older. Why would that not be fascinating? So yeah, and the other thing is that obviously each element in the earth, you know, or in the earth, the universe, and everything beyond is recorded by light, because light travels faster than sound. There's a wasp outside my window. And I find it fascinating that every element has a different colour, and you can record each element via their colour. I find that absolutely fascinating, and it's totally blown my mind. And dark matter is fascinating, black holes are fascinating. The concept of the fact that we all are made of dead stars. I mean, Betelgeuse isn't too far away, and that's a red giant already, and that's ready to sort of supernova. And when it does, apparently we'll be able to see it during the day as well as brightly at night. So, but I've got my reservations about that, because obviously when a star dies, like, I don't really believe in God. I believe in the Big Bang. So obviously when the universe and everything in it was created, there was a supernova. Basically, it was just a giant star that just exploded, and we are the matter that's left over. So in theory, when Betelgeuse does explode, surely there'll be like nuclear power heading towards the Earth. But the government say that it'll be fine, nothing will happen to us. But I'm not so sure, to be honest. I can definitely see something going wrong, and I don't think the ozone layer could take much more of a battering, to be honest. I mean, the Earth's atmosphere is only, what, 2-3 miles wide, and then you've got the stratosphere, blah blah blah. So yeah, that's enough of me being a geek. I've got my work to show you, but it's not. I just wanted to talk to you through it, and just to see what you think. As I'm not really sure if you'd see it a different way, but I know it's not up to you or anything. But basically, I'm looking at, because I suffer with really bad anxiety, I'm trying to incorporate that into my work to make it like more personal, and you know, I find it easier to work with something when I connect with it. I mean, it's pointless filming fucking dancing because I hate dancing. It makes me feel sick and I want to kill myself. Basically, what I've done is I've researched phototherapy, which is the art of recording feelings, thoughts, memories, everything in between into a photograph to help you let go. Like when you talk, when you go to see a therapist or a counsellor or whatever, they ask you to talk about your feelings and how does this make you feel and all that bollocks. So basically what that is the same concept, but you capture it in an image rather than in words. So I've researched a woman called Jo Spence, and she died in 1997 or 92 of really aggressive breast cancer, but she documented her life through the breast cancer and through, you know, the mastectomies and absolutely intense stuff, like incredibly brave woman as well. But yeah, so I kind of got inspiration from her, and you can Google her if you like, so it'd be easier than showing you this because the light's really wanking it. And then I researched a woman called Rosie Martin, and she captures, rather than people, she captures objects that hold a memory. So I kind of wanted to blend the two together in a weird way. A juxtaposition between the two. And yeah, I kind of came up with this concept of, instead of just taking a picture that I think represents my anxiety, why not take a picture, when I've took, I don't know, say 30 pictures, put them together in an order, in a book together, and make it feel like a panic attack, like, so the reader goes through and it goes through those emotions with you. And it was really hard to put into words like what goes through my head when I'm having a panic attack. So I got shitloads of notes from therapy and counsellors and mentors and all that shit over the years, and like a list of my medications that I've been on and, like, you know, different things. And I've kind of split it up into 4 sections. And I've got avoidance, which is like avoiding buses or busy shops or restaurants, stuff like that. Escapism, where it's like finding a quiet place where you're on your own, or you know, leaving a shop, leaving a lecture, stuff like that. Safety measures, that's like, to me, that's, you know, sitting at the door, only walking in the back streets, or, you know, sleeping with my window open so that I know that I can just breathe fresh air, and if I do need to throw up, then it's outside. And then there's depression, which is pretty self-explanatory really. I'm pretty much depressed all the time. But now I'm on medication again, after, what, 6 months, I feel quite happy at the minute. I mean, I'm still a bit ill, but mostly happy. So, yes, that is the end of the geeky video, and I have 9, 8, 7 seconds left. So I'm going to say bye, and thank you for watching.